What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to Amusement Time. Today we're diving into the entire collection. We're checking out every single Funko Pop that's in the collection. I know since the last collection video we've added a whole bunch of new Funko Pops, and you know what? I've been collecting for so long. We have so many different types. We have old Pops, new Pops, autographed Funko Pops, rare ones, you name it, guys. So you know what? Let's take a look into the collection and check them all out. Alright guys, let's start over here where I have like my Indiana Jones, Willy Wonka, I have Star Wars down there. We're gonna have to pull out the Star Wars because last time I didn't pull out the front pops to show you guys and everybody what the pops were behind, because I have 2 layers of Star Wars. But you know what, let's check it out. Of course I got my posters, Big Trouble in Little China, Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, Terrifier 2, want to get that signed for Morgan Crypt Horror Fest. But let's check out these Funko Pops that I have over here. Like I said, I have my Indiana Jones Funko Pops. There's that big old poster pop. If you can see it compared to the size, it's like the size of 6 Funko Pops. That's insane. Almost, almost in height, but in width, it's the size of 6 Funko Pops. But over here I have all my Indiana Jones Pops. There he is from Raiders of the Lost Ark, running away from the boulder. There's him and his dad on the motorcycle and sidecar. And then from Temple of Doom, of course, we have him taking the Shankara stone out of the temple, that skull in the temple where it was lit up. Very, very cool. As you can see, love Temple of Doom. It's my favorite Indiana Jones movie. So right there, we have Short Round. As you can see, these are all the Temple of Doom Pops. We got Short Round. Then we have him with his whip and his sword. Then right next to him, we have him in the tuxedo. Very, very cool. I love the Temple of Doom Pops. Very cool. I want to get the Short Round signed one day. It'd be cool to meet Harrison Ford and get one of those signed one day. But you know, it would be really cool to get Short Round signed. I want a Ke Huy Quan autograph. Get that autographed too. That would be so dope. Hopefully one of the next Comic-Cons. On the bottom, we have the newer Indiana Jones Pops. As you see, they're on the bottom for a reason. But we have also the Raiders of the Lost Ark Pops. Very, very cool. And then there's also Henry Jones Sr. from The Last Crusade. Very dope. And there's also Indiana Jones when he's teaching. Teacher Indy. Very cool, but this is all my Indiana Jones set. Then over here on top, I have the Galaxy Quest Pops. I just ran out of space. I don't know. When I have more Indiana Jones Pops, I'm probably going to have to put them over here. I'm running out of room, guys. I wish I could put the Terrifier Pops with the poster. In the future, I'm going to have to rearrange so that way we can feng shui it a little bit better. But also back here, we have my Willy Wonka Pops. Let's see if I can move this lamp a little bit so we can get Augustus Gloop.
Save some room for later.
But we have Grandpa Joe, Mike TV, Augustus Gloop, of course the Oompa Loompa, and Willy Wonka himself. Veruca Salt, and, focus, Violet Beauregard. Sorry about the dust, it's a little dusty. I also have a hidden Turbo Man back there. I didn't have any room to display my Turbo Man. I'm gonna need more shelves, guys. So many more shelves because I have so much stuff to display. We also have RoboCop over here. That's one of the very first Pops I got. It's an old school RoboCop. They just have a new wave that came out a while back. And we have Miklo from Blood and Blood Out. Yeah, that is the only custom in my entire collection. I don't like buying custom Funko Pops because a lot of them don't really look that good, but this one was really dope and I wanted to get it signed, and of course it came the day that we're going to the autograph signing and it was out of town, so it came a little bit too late, but that's the only custom I have in my collection. I want to get more Blood and Blood Out ones, but I'm not too big of a fan of customs, but for Blood and Blood Out, I will do it. I will get customs. Alright, so this is the very first row of Star Wars Funko Pops that I got. And believe it or not, the very first Funko Pops I ever got were actually the Hoth Star Wars GameStop exclusives. I just liked them so much, I was like, you know what, those are really cute. Picked them up, and ever since then, it took off. As you can see, hundreds of Pops later, but let's see, some of my favorite, of course, I have Ben Kenobi. That one was from the Smuggler's Bounty box back in the day. Then we have regular Obi-Wan, Luke Skywalker with the green lightsaber, Han Solo, Guido, of course, Slave Leia, Boba Fett, and then that's a prototype Boba Fett. He's all white. Then we have another Boba Fett, but we also have the Hoth Pop. We have Chewbacca on Hoth, Han Solo on Hoth, Luke Skywalker on Hoth. Very cool. Then we also have the Bespin scene, where Luke Skywalker gets his arm chopped off. There's Darth Vader, right where he's telling him he's his father. Very cool. Let's see, down here, regular Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Unmasked Vader, Mace Windu, Count Dooku. This one's really funny. The Fig and Dan. I love them, guys. Let's see, and over here from the very end of the first Star Wars, from A New Hope, we have the celebration scene. This is from the Galactic, 2016 Galactic Convention. These ones are really cool. Then up top, of course, Tusken Raider, the Gamorrean Guard. And then over to the side, we have a Jawa, an Imperial Guard. Then we have Forlom, a Blue Senate Guard. That's another 2016 Galactic exclusive. And then we have a Yoda Spirit. It's a Blue Spirit Yoda, guys. That one's really cool. It's a Walgreens exclusive. It's a glow-in-the-dark One day we're gonna have to pull out all the glow in the dark ones and see how good they glow, because I don't mind opening up the pops so that way we can see how good they glow. And I'm pretty sure that box is a little on the iffy side when we got it anyway, because Walgreens didn't know how to take care of their pops back in the day, but that's just the very front row of Star Wars pops that I have. Sorry about the cords running out. This is where we have the kitties water and food hooked up, but that's just the front row of Star Wars pops. Now I'm gonna have to pull these ones out so that way you guys can see the ones that are behind them. I didn't show anybody the last time because there's just so many to pull out, but you know what, I'll pull them out for you guys. Let's do it right now. Alright, this is the first time anybody's seen the second row. There's legitly a whole second row of Star Wars pops hidden behind the front row. As you can see, these ones are freaking dope. I love the Rancor with Luke Skywalker. That one's freaking awesome. And then down there we have Jabba the Hutt with Slave Leia. These two, probably two of my favorite bigger pops. Very, very cool. I wish they weren't in the back. I just have so many. One day I'm gonna have to just commit and make a whole Star Wars shelf because those two are my favorite and I want to show them off. And I can't. There's just so many. But we also have... Ooh, sorry about the glare. We also have the Princess Leia hologram and R2-D2 2-pack from 2017. I want to say it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. See, but she's blue. Sorry about the glare, guys, but she's blue, so she's a hologram. Then down there, we have Unhooded Emperor, Tarful, and a Clone Trooper. Then there's Poe Dameron. That's another one from a Smuggler's Bounty box. Very cool. I really like this Luke on the speeder. That one was a dope one from the Smuggler's Bounty box. And then on top, we also have the Hoth Han Solo with him on the Tauntaun. That one's dope. More Smuggler Bounty exclusive. C-3PO. See, that was before he was finished. Then we have R2-D2 serving drinks from Return of the Jedi for Jabba the Hutt. We have BB-8. Whole bunch of cool exclusives, guys. I had from when The Force Awakens came out. I bought the entire set. I ended up getting rid of them, and I didn't have any space. So I was just like, you know what? I'll get rid of them. These are some older ones, too. Han Solo. Gotta hold on to Han Solo. Then we have Dagobah Yoda. A whole bunch of cool ones, guys. But I really, really, really love these two. The Rancor and Luke Skywalker and the Slave Leia. These ones are so freaking dope. So one day I'm going to have to make a whole Star Wars shelf. That way we can actually display them and show them off pretty good, because these ones are like the two coolest, some of the coolest Star Wars pops they ever made. And they're tucked back, hidden behind, but one day we'll be able to see them all. So that's the whole back row of Star Wars pops tucked away behind the front row. I never really get to see them, so at least it was fun because at least I get to see them too, because I haven't pulled these ones out in a couple years. Maybe just when we're doing cleaning and dusting and stuff, but other than that, I rarely get to see these pops, and these are some of the coolest pops, so we're going to have to display them in the future. But what do you guys think? Which one's your guys' favorite from these Star Wars pops that are tucked away back here? I really love that Rancor, but that Slave Leia one and Jabba is so dope too, but let me know. Which one is your favorite from the Star Wars pops? So many to choose from. Then over here we have our WWE wall with all of our WWE autographs, our belts, our chairs. This is our chair from a SmackDown that we went to, and then from the TakeOver Phoenix 2019, because we went to the Royal Rumble in 2019. So for that Royal Rumble weekend, of course we went to the Royal Rumble, we went to the TakeOver Phoenix, we went to the Raw and the SmackDown. It was like a full giant weekend, and they had this fan access event. It was pretty cool because the accesses, there was like 5 different accesses, I want to say. There was an access on the Friday night, then there was 2 on Saturday, and then 2 on Sunday. They just had different time slots, and each time slot had different wrestlers, so depending on which wrestlers you wanted to meet, you just booked that time slot and you paid for it, and I want to say it was around 60 or 70, because there was tons of wrestlers. Like for each time slot, there was at least like 20 or 30 wrestlers, so we got to meet so many wrestlers. So I actually got to meet Seth Rollins on the day he won the Royal Rumble. On that Sunday, that morning is when I got to meet Seth Rollins, and I had him sign my belt. But my son, this one is my son's belt. We got him it for Christmas. He had that signed by all the same people, but he got it signed by AJ Styles, and I got mine signed by Seth Rollins. I would have really have loved to meet Roman Reigns at the time, because that's the whole reason we were going. I want to say like 5 days after we got our tickets to the Royal Rumble and everything, that's when Roman had announced that he had leukemia and that he had to step down from wrestling for a while, so that was a big bummer. But you know what, I'm glad that he came back, and he came back even fiercer and stronger, and now everybody acknowledges him, guys. But we look at all these autographs. That one is the whole card from the Phoenix Takeover in 2019, and a lot of these we had gotten from like boxes back in the day. One that's really, really cool that we had gotten my son is this one from Bray Wyatt. It's a Fiend letter for Christmas that he had sent. Let's see if I can get it to focus. But it was a Christmas letter that he had sent out and he had autographed for everyone, you know, so he had got one for my son because he was a big Fiend fan, you know, so that's really cool. And of course we have an autographed Otis, you know, and I'm gonna have to pull down the belts so that way you guys can see who's all autographed the belts, guys, because the belts have so many autographs. But very cool because we have Ric Flair up there, Shawn Michaels, you know, that whole card, Tommaso Ciampa, so many awesome autographs, Johnny Gargano, so freaking cool, you know. Big wrestling fan. My son loves wrestling, so he used to always go to wrestling when it comes here, you know. Maybe next time wrestling comes here, we'll go and we'll take you with us, guys. It'll be fun. We'll all go together. Alright, so this one here is my belt, you know, because this is the one I wanted Roman to win, so that's why I got it. Got the red Universal because I wanted Roman to sign it so bad, but it's signed by Tommaso Ciampa. There's Kurt Angle. Here's Seth Rollins' signature right here, and I want to say this is Aleister Black. So my son all has the same autographs that I do, except instead of Seth Rollins, he has AJ Styles, you know, because that was a special one. I want to say that one we had to pay extra for, but the back is covered because everybody got to meet at the Access event. They just signed for free. Well, you had to pay to go to the Access, and it wasn't as much as paying for every single autograph, I'll tell you that much. So it was a damn good deal, you know. So when you see all the autographs that are on this belt, look at that right there. You know who that is? That's Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, guys. Very, very cool. Look right next to Buddy Murphy. How funny. You know. Who else? We got Carmella. Otis Dojovic. Very, very cool. Dana Brooke. Who else do we have here? So many. So many. Who's this? I don't know. I can't read it. Some of them are so hard to read. You know, some of them are easy to remember. I want to say this one right here is Samoa Joe, because Samoa Joe was wrestling for WWE at the time. We'd also met the B Team. You know, so Bo Dallas, and who was the other member of the B Team? I can't remember, guys. You know, I wonder if that one's Bo Dallas. I don't know. You know, so if you guys know Uncle Howdy now from the Wyatt Six, you know, back in the day when he was still wrestling as Bo Dallas for the B Team, we got to meet him. You know, so many freaking autographs, guys. But look how freaking awesome. You know, so that's why we got the belts, because we're like, you know, if we're gonna get something autographed, why not get a belt? You know, so we have, oh my goodness, like 30 autographs on each belt. Definitely recommend it. I don't know if WWE still does those accesses, but they are so freaking worth it, and I hope that they still do them. And I hope, if not, then they bring them back, because it's so worth it. We got to meet so many awesome people. Like, look at that. Rhea Ripley's autograph right now on a belt. Oh my goodness. Samoa Joe, Buddy Murphy, you know, Carmella, Otis, you know, so many awesome wrestlers. Not to mention on the front, we have Seth Rollins, we have Aleister Black, and then Tommaso Ciampa and Kurt Angle. Such a dope time, guys. So dope. That's why it's so cool that WWE is coming for Halloween Horror Nights. Well, speculated right now, you know, but we shall see. So I hope they do it justice. I hope we see a whole bunch of WWE characters, not just the White Six, but we shall see. Maybe it's the fact that I met Bo Dallas while he was in the B Team, and the Fiend was on his run. You know, his brother Bray Wyatt was doing his thing, you know, and it was really popular. I love the Fiend character. That was so dope. You know, so I hope we get to see so many awesome wrestling characters, you know, for this Halloween Horror Nights house, guys. But let me know what you guys think. I got my Fifth Element Funko Pops and some Yu-Gi-Oh Pops down here too. So you got Slifer the Sky Dragon. That one was a Target exclusive. Exodia the Forbidden one. And love these Fifth Element Pops. They're pretty old. That Ruby Rod one's really hilarious. I had to turn that Mangalore because he didn't fit the other way, but you know what? You still get the point. You know, more Yu-Gi-Oh Pops. And over there we got Dodgeball. We got Peter LaFleur and White Goodman. You know, some older Pops. I loved watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was a kid. I still have my Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards from when I was younger. I'll have to show you guys that in a second too. Alright, back to more Pops. Down under here I have my Stranger Things collection. So down here we have the Nancy and Robin 2-pack. We have the 11 with the electrodes. 11 from, I want to say that's season 2. Mr. Clark. I also have, let's see if I can get these back there, the Max. And Max as Michael Myers for Halloween. That's one of my favorite Pops. It's so cool. We also have Joyce and Hopper in their Biohazard suit. Those ones are cool too. We also have the Funko Shop exclusives. Joyce and Hopper from season 4. See, Hopper has his flamethrower. Those ones are sweet as well. And of course, last but not least, we have the Hopper and we have the Chase Hopper. He's just, the only difference is he's missing his hat. So I have some Stranger Thing Pops tucked away down there. I rarely see those ones too. Then moving over here, we got some more older Pops. We got the Office Space set. We got Mr. Bean. We got some Ghostbusters Pops. I love that Gatekeeper and Zool and Keymaster one. That one's freaking hilarious. We got the Princess Bride. I'm missing more Princess Bride pops. I know I'm missing a couple. I really wish they would have made a 6-inch Fezzik. Why didn't they do that? You know, for Comic-Con or something. A 6-inch Fezzik, why not? You know, got Coming to America. Those ones are funny too. I'm missing a couple. I got Randy Watson. Randy Watson.
God damn, that boy can sing. You must be crazy. He good. You must be crazy.
I also had to move my Lego sets over here. Eventually, I'm going to have to get different shelves so that way I could display all my Legos. See, because even this one, I had to park the plane on top because there wasn't enough room. And I still have one more Lego set I need to build, and there's no more room. See, I even had to put 2 more down here, you know, kind of blocking pops. But, you know, we have the one from the very beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. See this boulder moves? That one's really cool. But that's just for him to, that one's for him to swing across, as you can see. And then this one sets a booby trap. Oh, I haven't used it in a while. See, it lights up. And it also drops a booby trap. And then this is, I have the Shankara stone from Disneyland. I got that at Disneyland for one of my trips. That's another thing that we have down here is all of our popcorn buckets and sippers from our last trips. You know, this one is really cool. It's the Hatbox Ghost from the Haunted Mansion. I had to get that one. Then Cassandra got this one 2 years ago, and that one last year for Halloween. And then, of course, back there we got the Chuckies from Halloween Horror Nights. Very, very cool. And then, of course, our cups and stuff from Halloween Horror Nights. This is usually where we keep, like, some of the mementos from our trip, you know, the souvenirs and stuff. And at least we have the cups for next time we go. We can take those with us. You know, some of the sippers are a little impractical because how big they are. They're just so cool. You know, they're so cool. And let me show you what this one does. The Hatbox Ghost is freaking dope. I had to get this one. Let's see. See, there's his head in the box. Very cool. And then if you press it again, it just takes away the sound, but it will keep lighting up. You know, so that's, I guess, one way to, I guess, save batteries, you know, but pretty cool. Yeah, so when I saw this one, I had to get it. Another one that was really cool was Harold the Yeti. That one came out for the Matterhorn. Oh, I want that one too. I don't think they still have that one yet, you know, but that's one of the things, you know, every time we go, if there's a really cool sipper or popcorn bucket, oh, sometimes it's like, oh, that's a cool souvenir, you know, to remember the trip, you know, but these are all from all of our last trips. For every time we go to Universal or when we go to Disneyland, you know, we try to pick up some kind of cool souvenir. Alright, back to some older pops. This is where I have my Walking Dead set. Look at that one, still has a sticker. Shame on them for putting a sticker right on the front. It's a Hastings sticker, so they should come off easy, but I don't want to peel it off, and then what happens if it peels all messed up. But these are some older pops. Back in the day, you guys remember Hastings, if you're here in Albuquerque? Hastings was the shit, guys. You used to be able to get pops like buy 3 get 1 free, and this is back when they were like, I think, under $10, you know, so that's how we're able to collect so many, you know. But we have some awesome Walking Dead pops. Merle Dixon, here's the Governor. These are some older pops. I want to say that's like, what, season 3 and stuff like that. Then down here we have Abraham, Morgan, some of the later seasons. We have Sasha as a zombie. We have Dwight all burnt up, half of his face. Of course, Negan. We have T-Dog. And then further down, we got Ferris Bueller. There's a new Ferris Bueller set I guess I need to pick up because I need to add to these ones. And then some Parks and Recreation. It's a little dark down here. Sorry, you can't really see. Don't really have good lighting down here, but maybe I'll put some lights on this shelf here in the future. But Parks and Recreation. See, there's Ron Swanson after Tammy 2 got him. Again, I should say. Very cool ones down here. I rarely see these ones. They're always tucked away behind my guitars. Alright, and then coming back up here, I got my Dogma poster. My brother got me that one. I can't remember if it was for my birthday or our birthday. We're twins. I can't remember if it was for our birthday or for Christmas. But you see that it's autographed by Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith. Very cool, very funny movie. And then we have They Live, another classic John Carpenter movie. I love John Carpenter movies. There, I even have the pops there to go with them. Let's take a look at these pops that we have over here. So we got the Target exclusive Zur-En-Arrh Batman. That one's pretty rare. I want to say Target's only got 4 of those to each store, so those ones are pretty rare. You know, then we got the Mars Attack set. I was lucky enough to find the Glow Chase. Sorry about the glare. There's Shaun from Shaun of the Dead. I need to find the chase for that one too. That's one I need to keep hunting down. You know, but we also have the They Live Funko Pops. I still need Nada, you know, but that one will be easy to get. You know, I'm pretty sure he's the easiest one to find, you know, and then once I'll put him in John Wick's spot and move John Wick over so that way I have all 3 together. Then next we have Workaholics, one of my favorite shows. I used to love Workaholics. I used to get home from work back in the day every Wednesday and look forward to Workaholics and Key and Peele. So I had to get those. Classic show. Then we have the classic McDonald's characters, Ronald McDonald, the Hamburglar. Down there we have Grimace, Mary McCheese. Then the Super Troopers Funko Pops. But at least right now we got Mac, we got Ramathorn, and we got Farva. My older brother Alfonso loved Super Troopers. He would have loved the second one. You know, and then underneath we have the Powerpuff Girls, another classic cartoon from when I was younger. And then back there we have him and Mojo Jojo. Let's see, down here, who else do we have? Oh, we have Jesus to go with the Walking Dead Pops. It's just over here off to the side. See, but I have to put some of my Lego sets over here because there's no more room on the shelves. Let me put this Horror Nights cup back. Those are our cups that we got the last 2 years at Horror Nights. Oh, I can't wait for this year. Cannot wait for opening night. And then moving over here, I got a couple rows of pops. Then we also have Jowly Michael Myers. I like to call him Jowly because his face is kind of all pudgy. He kind of looks happy, huh? Because of the way this face is pudging out because of the neck being pushed in there. Yeah, he kind of looks kind of happy. How you doing, Michael? All right, but back here we have the Scrubs Funko Pop. Sorry about the glare. Then we have all of my rap Funko Pops, like all of my pop music, all of my pop rocks we have back here. So of course we have all of the Tupacs. We have Tupac Shakur, we have DMX, we have Snoop Dogg, a whole bunch of different Snoop Doggs, a whole bunch of different Tupacs, and a whole bunch of different Biggies. See, I already had to start stacking double pops over here because I ran out of space on the other shelves, you know. So there's the Notorious B.I.G. album cover, you know, there's the giant, ooh, I need a dust. There's the giant Home Alone Funko Pop. That one's freaking dope. But I had to move some of the older ones over here, like Bill and Ted and the Christmas Vacation Pops, Cousin Eddie. I had to move these guys over here because I was running out of room, and they keep making a whole bunch of dope pops, and I like to put them on my main shelf. Yeah, but I have so many stacked back here. I also have the Saturday Night Live Pops. I have Cypress Hill, Ice Cube, Saturday Night Live, the More Cowbell.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
That one's a classic. I also have some NECAs, some horror NECAs, of course Halloween. If there's any kind of NECAs or toys I'd collect, it's gonna probably be horror. Alright, now moving on to my Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon card collection. These are all my Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and Pokemon cards that I had since I was a kid, except for the graded ones. These graded ones are new, but a lot of these cards, like that Shining Gyarados, I got from when I was a little kid. I opened that in a pack. I pulled all of these cards from packs. So I kept them. Luckily, I was anal enough to keep things in good condition as a kid, you know. Because right when I started collecting Yu-Gi-Oh!, I stopped taking care of my Pokemon cards, so I'm surprised that a lot of these stayed in decent condition. Like these three, I lost. You know, I used to have them when I was a kid, and I lost them, so I ended up replacing them because I really missed that Lugia, man. That's the one, that main one that hurt. That one really hurt that I lost it as a kid. You know, because what if it was a first edition? I don't remember. You know, so that one hurt, but I replaced it. It's not a first edition, but you know what? At least I was able to replace those three that I had as a kid and lost. Or, you know, that Shining Gyarados, oh, I love it. You know, and of course, my Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, because once I stopped collecting Pokemon, I switched to Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, and oh, I'm so glad I kept all of these. Look at that Dark Magician girl. Very nice. My Dark Paladin, I pulled that one from a pack, first edition. So psyched. It was always my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. It probably still is. Guaranteed. Dark Paladin, my favorite card, probably in all of my collection. It was always at the front of my deck, so I could always see him every time I pulled out my cards. I love it. Then moving up in this box, I tried to do like the whole first season layout of cards, kind of like in the order that they appeared in the show. So I have, of course, Exodia, we have Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Blue Eyes Dark Magician, Red Eyes Black Dragon. I tried to kind of put them in like the way that they appeared in the show, you know, so a whole bunch of memorable cards from the very first season. All the pieces to Gate Guardian. There's Gate Guardian. These ones are really, really dope. That one's not in great condition, but hey, at least we have them in the collection. That Red Eyes Metal Dragon, that Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. Very, very cool. And then Dark Sage. Very nice. Dragon Master Knight. Magician of Black Chaos. You know, so I tried to kind of make them in the order that you saw them in the show. So it's kind of like the whole framework of the first season laid out in this case of all the most important cards. What do you guys think? You guys Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans? We got the newspaper from October 22nd, 2015, signed by Christopher Lloyd. Got that signed at Denver Fan Expo a couple years ago. We also met Anthony Michael Hall. We got this one signed from the Breakfast Club. This is the creator of Homies. He had signed this at the Super Show a couple years ago. And then we met Annie, we met Eileen Quinn. So that one was really cool. That was at the same year for Duke City Comic Con a couple years ago with where they had a giant Blood and Blood Out convention and reunion. Then up top we got some more Blood and Blood Out ones, and I also got an Anthony Michael Hall one from Halloween Kills. Whole bunch more autographs. And these are my guitars. This is my first guitar as a Luna guitar, and this is my new acoustic guitar. It's a Schecter Diamond Series acoustic, Sinister Gates custom from Avenged Sevenfold. Very, very cool. I just restringed it, so I have to cut all that excess strings off, but I love this acoustic guitar. Alright guys, now let's check out my favorite collection of Pops, the Big Shelf. Alright, starting off with the very top, I got the Goodfellas Funko Pops and the Godfather Funko Pops. I got the ones from Godfather Part 2 and from Godfather Part 1. That Vito Corleone is really rare. Same with Fredo. That's the one that caught me off guard. Like Fredo? I don't know why. Then I have the Goodfellas up there. Ones I definitely need to add. Of course, I still need some more of the Godfather Funko Pops, but I definitely want to add the Sopranos to this collection up here too, guys. And then right beside it, we have my wrestling collection of my wrestling Funko Pops. All of the top row is autographed. The Stone Cold Steve Austin, Roman Reigns, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, and Alexa Bliss. All of those ones are autographed. Then we have Mr. McMahon, Seth Rollins, a whole bunch of cool ones. I definitely love the Hardy Boys one. That one is awesome. I want to get that one autographed one day by both of them. That would be so dope. Yeah, but all those top ones are autographed. Let me turn off those lights for a little bit and help with the glare over here. Then we also have my Breaking Bad collection, guys. Being from Albuquerque, had to add the Breaking Bad set to the collection, of course. And this one here we got signed by Dean Norris, and then we have both of these signed by Giancarlo Esposito. We got those signed at Denver Fan Expo a couple years ago, and this one at Albuquerque Comic Con this year. Very, very cool. I'm still missing a couple. The Blue Heisenberg, I think some other Hazmat ones, some Hot Topic exclusives, of course, but those ones are pretty expensive. I'll have to find them in the future, but right now, not a priority. Moving on to some of my favorite Pops now, of course, is my Terrifier collection. Up here, we have my popcorn bucket. We have the sodas, which I'm glad we ended up getting, because I don't collect sodas, but I did end up getting these ones, and now Funko's doing away with sodas, so there's going to be no more. So at least they made a Terrifier one I was able to get. I didn't get the Chase, but you know what? It's still really cool. Got my sunflower glasses. We got Terrifier 2 and 3, the collector steelbooks, and we also have the VHSs for Terrifier 2 and 3. But then we have my Terrifier collection. I love all of these Terrifier Pops. The only one I'm missing so far is the Chase version, and of course the Art vs. Sienna, but that hasn't came out yet. I think some people got it, but not in this country. But the Chase is the one I'm definitely after. I already have the Art vs. Sienna pre-ordered, so fingers crossed that gets here before Morgan Crib Horror Fest, because I want to get them signed. Now I'm just going to have to figure out which ones I'm going to actually want to get signed. Maybe one or two of these, or the Art vs. Sienna, and then maybe this one, I don't know, and then the poster, but we shall see. We'll see how much money we have left over after Halloween Horror Nights and the Disneyland trip. And then down here we have some more of my favorite Pops, my Big Trouble in Little China. Let's move Art's little dangly feet. There's Gracie Law, Lopan. That's a glow-in-the-dark Lopan. Jack Burton. Oh, look, Tony Montana. There's the Three Storms, Rain, Lightning, and Thunder. I really wanted to get my Rain Pop signed this year, guys, at Albuquerque Comic Con, but no luck. Unfortunately, he passed away, so that was a bummer. But I also have my Boondock Saints signed by Sean Patrick Flannery. And then there's Murphy McManus next to him, but that Tony Montana Pop, that one's a rare one. That one's so old. It's another one of the first Pops I ever got. Like some of these Pops, I want to say Breaking Bad and Big Trouble in Little China, Boondock Saints, Tony Montana. These were some of the very first Pops I ever got over 10 years ago. So they're all worth a lot because you can't find them really anymore. Alright, moving on down, we have my Back to the Future Funko Pops. That one's autographed by Christopher Lloyd. Got that one signed at Denver Fan Expo a couple years ago too. Then we have Marty and the Time Machine and a regular Marty McFly. Then we have the brand new King of the Hill Funko Pop set. Ooh, those are freaking awesome. I definitely had to add those to the collection. Hank Hill, Dale, Bill and Boomhauer. Then next we got Cheech and Chong. Very, very cool. I'm definitely going to have to pick up the rest of the King of the Hill set because there's a Funko Shop exclusive of Hank on the Mower. Then there's a 4-pack, which is pretty much all 4 of them standing together, so that's kind of a waste of a 4-pack, but I guess I still need it to complete the collection. Then moving down, we have some more horror Funko Pops, guys. We have the Shining set, we have Jack Torrance, there's the Jack Torrance Chase, there's the Grady Twins. That one was hard to get too because I want to say that was the same time that Targets were only getting 4 of those bad boys at 2, so you had to be there right when they opened. Then next we have my Pennywises. Those ones are the chases. As you notice, if you notice, the box has 2 different colored eyes. That's why I ended up getting both of them. Then we have the Walmart exclusives. Those ones have 2 different colored eyes. These are just all the Pennywises with 2 different colored eyes. See how the box, different colored eyes, and then on this one, the Pop, different colored eyes. I don't know why they did that. And then with the Walmart one, different colored eyes. So I had to get 2 of them, even though they're exact same Pop. You know, when they first put them out, they had the yellow eyes, and then they put out the second wave, and it had blue on the box. Same with this one. When they put out the first Pops, they had yellow eyes. Then they put out the second wave, they had blue eyes. And the same with this one. Yellow, switched to blue, or vice versa. I can't remember. You know, but of course, I really loved the original, you know, from 1990, the miniseries. So that's what I had to get these ones, because I had to watch the remake, you know, but I ended up getting the whole set. There's the Chases, Chase Beverly, Chase Georgie, with him missing his arm. Oh no! Then over here we have more Pennywise. We have some Hot Topic exclusive. That one's a metallic, shiny one. This one is the Hot Topic scene, the movie moments of him coming out of the gutter and getting Georgie. Very, very cool. There's the FYE exclusive with the iron in his head. There's the Amazon exclusive with him holding the bloody arm. Ooh, very cool. And then behind I even have more Nickelodeon Pops. Because in front right here I have my Nickelodeon Pops. Rugrats and Hey Arnold and Rocko's Modern Life, Aerial Monsters. Whole bunch of nostalgic Nickelodeon TV shows from back when I was younger. And down here I have even more. They're just tucked away because we have so little room. See, so we have the Angry Beavers. We have Cat Dog. Let me pull them out more so we can see. See, but in the back we have the Angry Beavers, we have Doug and Cat Dog. Whole bunch of fun ones. See, there's the Hot Topic exclusive Dougs. There's Skeeter Valentine, you know, but whole bunch of nostalgic shows from back when I was younger. I still have more Nickelodeon and Disney shows, like, and Cartoon Network. There's a whole bunch of nostalgic TV shows that I need to get the Pops for. So much to add to the collection, guys. But let me know, what do you guys think? What was your favorite Nickelodeon or Disney show from back when you were a kid? So many. Yeah, but these ones are my favorite Pops. So I always like to put the ones I love to see the most right here on this shelf. Of course, the Terrifier, Breaking Bad, King of the Hill, Back to the Future, Big Trouble in Little China, Scarface. This is just like my wall of nostalgia right here. Some of my favorite shows, favorite movies. Just love it, guys. Alright, my friends, I really appreciate you hanging out with me and checking out my whole Funko Pop collection and more. You know, if you haven't yet, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, come and kick it with us more often. We'll keep you up to date on new Funko Pop drops. We go cool places, so we're going to vlog Halloween Horror Nights opening night, we're going to vlog Disneyland, we're going to have a whole bunch of fun. So you know what, we collect cool things, we go cool places, so why don't you come with us, guys. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Let me know, what was your favorite Funko Pop in my entire collection, or what was your favorite set, if it was a set. Let me know down in the comments, guys. You know, I got tons of Funko Pops, over hundreds of Funko Pops, guys, so it's gonna be a hard decision. But let me know, which one is your favorite in the entire collection. Alright, I really appreciate you hanging out with me, guys. It was fun, and I will see you guys later.